Welcome to TYT Sports, everybody. Francis and Jason at the desk. The duo is back. We had a week where JR and myself were here to do a show. Francis was, where were you again? You were in
Mexico. And La Paz.
It was nice. Good time?
It was phenomenal.
Did you have a nice time?
Great island.
Good
Great
island.
golf. Great
Good golf?
water. Great
How'd you
people.
shoot?
Great food. Great.
Good vibes, great people. I'm also back. I was actually at, which is our first story of the day, NBA Summer League for about 2.5, 3 days. It was a fantastic experience. It was basketball heaven, mostly because you get to see a lot of these rookies and sophomores amongst other players who are trying to sign with teams, some of them older. Guys like Jimmer Fredette were there. And, you know, you're right on the court. You're right there, and you see them. First of all these guys are enormous.
Yeah.
Like, we were staying at the same hotel, too, so, like, it's funny that you walk out the door and, like, you get in an elevator, like, Karl Anthony Towns is right there. You're like, yo, could you get number 16? He has to get, like, the floor number, and he's like leaning over to get it. He's so big. But really a lot of fun. We have a lot of takeaways from Summer League in general, plus the idea that I wanted to explain why you can't just look at numbers when it comes to the Summer League.
Yeah. When
you go to NBA Summer League, or if you've ever watched it on TV, some people get blown away by, wow, Jamal Murray, for example, the 6th or 7th overall pick, who went to the Denver Nuggets, which might cause some problems for Emmanuel Mudiay in the backcourt, who was the rookie last year for them. He put up like 27, 29, 31 points in one of those games. But it's not the fact that they're scoring the points, it's how they are scoring the points. Thon Maker is another great example to use because he's leading all of Summer League in rebounding with, I think, 12 per game. I think I have a graphic of the NBA Summer League leaders. So we'll get to that too. And as you can see, what you're going to take away from this mostly is Chris Dunn's having a fantastic Summer League, although he might be out for the rest of it because I think he did not pass concussion protocol.
Wow.
A lot of the sophomores, D'Angelo Russell is dominating Summer League because he's a year into playing with NBA level talent, which is why he looks a lot better than Chris Dunn will, or someone like Jamal Murray. So Thon Maker, I was just showing like the rebounds per game there. Trey Lyles is lighting it up, and so is Devin Booker, as he was at the end of last season for Phoenix. But in terms of the Summer League, Thon Maker is also getting double-doubles.
Yeah.
He had 10 points and 10 fouls the other day. Because you get more than 6, which you get in the NBA. You get 10 in the Summer League before you foul out.
Interesting.
So, in general, I think you've seen some of the games with Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
You've seen some of the games with Brandon Ingram. What have you liked about it so far?
I like the Summer League for the same reason that I just like preseason in every sport, is that you get a chance to witness the players that you're going to see for the regular season play for the respective teams and get to demonstrate some of the talent that got them there in the first place. But do I look at it and see that someone like Chris Dunn's going off and I'm thinking to myself, he's going to take the NBA by storm next year. He's going to go insane. No, it's the same way. And even if you have these teams playing against each other in friendlies, which you don't get in NBA, but you usually get in every other sport, is you take it with a pinch of salt. Each team are trying things out. Each team are trying to bring in new players. They're trying to rotate and maybe get some of the guys that didn't play as much last year up to that level of fitness, because the thing is, the season just ended when you think about it collectively, and all the major players are looking into the Olympics if they're going to happen to be there. I know majority of them are out and banana boat vacations are going on at the moment. But it's interesting that you get this spectacle to witness just the maturing talent play against each other. So it's almost like, when I watch it, it almost is like college basketball to me. It's a very similar standard, except you've got the elite of college basketball able to play with each other. So overall, it's an interesting spectacle. I don't see as much defense as what you would see in the NBA, and I see a lot more scoring, and I see a lot of players growing in confidence, and that's what this whole thing is for. You think it's to put on a spectacle and make money, which it is, but it's all about getting these players up in confidence to give themselves the best possible chance at starting well when they get into the NBA.
Yes, very well put, and I agree with that because, again, this is, as you put it, the best of college basketball and then a couple of the sophomores and guys like D-League players.
Yeah.
So you have like the best of the level just below the NBA, just above college. It's not so much the numbers that certain players put up. Jamal Murray had back-to-back moves where he created enough space to fire off 2 good-looking 20-foot jumpers and hit both of them. Even if he missed both of them, it was that type of move that will translate to the NBA level. Here's where I was unimpressed. I watched a full game of Buddy Hield, and even though he started getting a little bit hot in the third quarter of that game, Buddy Hield could not create space if his life depended on it. He was getting locked down by D-League guys. He was getting locked down by other rookies. So what does that say over about 2 games that you see a player play. It's too small of a sample size to make any rash judgments. But if I had to take between the impressive and unimpressive list, yeah, I would think Jamal Murray has a little bit brighter of an early future than Buddy Hield. I still think Buddy Hield's on the J.J. Redick path. Might be 4 years, 5 years before he starts averaging more than 10 points a game. However, he has a good-looking three ball, and he can shoot from range, and that's something that the NBA needs. Now, Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons has always had court vision, so I don't know why people are surprised when they're like, wow, look at Ben Simmons put on a show. What, just because he didn't play in the NCAA tournament makes him not as phenomenal of a talent as he was before the NCAA tournament started when he was in high school and he was doing these exact same things?
Yeah.
Ben Simmons looks great. Ben Simmons looks like a player who can still finish at the rim. Jump shot, not great, will get better. Passing is at like an A- level. So that's something that can make the 76ers better if they have some shooters. That's why Nerlens Noel last year looked so much better when Ish Smith, point guard to run the floor, got there. And then lastly, Brandon Ingram has smaller arms than I do. I got no arms. He is a stick.
Yeah, he's very thin.
But again, he was able to create space on shots, so I thought that was really important. So his creation off the dribble was impressive, given the fact that he's so not formed yet, so immature with his game. And he also had D'Angelo Russell there, which helps.
That's what I was going to say.
So they're there to build chemistry.
That's exactly true.
And D'Angelo Russell with the "I got ice in my veins" celebration after hitting
D'Angelo
the game
Russell has been the standout for me, but again, you're right. He's had a full year to mature into this role, and my God, the boy has done some maturing because he's experienced the everyday ups and downs of being an NBA
I thought it
basketball
was so
player.
funny that so many people were like, as he was walking into the arena, and they were like on Snapchat, and they're like, D'Angelo! And he's just like, no.
This is hilarious, but we've never ruled out the fact that this guy is a great talent. And I remember vividly last year when you said D'Angelo came in, I think we were talking about the draft last year when we first started discussing it, you were like, this is a phenomenal acquisition for the Lakers if they build a team around him. That's why I thought Brandon Ingram was a good acquisition for them. He is Kevin Durant-esque in the way that he is able to maneuver his body. And if he has a good point guard with him that can find space for him, and he can find space himself, they're going to work well. I think Lakers fans would just like to see Jordan Clarkson thrown in there as well, and like to see how they would collectively work as a trio. Because Jordan Clarkson was one of the steals for the Lakers to sign him for, 5 years?
It was 4 years.
4 years.
Comparatively to the other contracts that went out, Jordan Clarkson signed a very favorable Lakers deal.
And I think
it's proven.
And they seem to be stressing that this is a rebuilding process. That they're not going to, if they wanted to go out and try to become imminent contenders again, they would have went for D Rose and they would have went for the teams to try and.
You mean everybody the Knicks signed?
That are structured. But this is what I want to know your thoughts on this, Jason. Do you feel like, do you get that sense? Like, I almost give a little bit more respect to a team like the Lakers when they're trying to rebuild and see if they can try and build something rather than, all right, let's just put a Band-Aid on an open wound and we'll just hopefully it dries up. What is the major takeaway from the Summer League?
It's a great sense of community. I'd say like the biggest takeaway I had from being there was, man, obviously everyone there is diehard NBA fans, and that's a big thing. But the players it's surreal for them as it is for fans because you really are just walking amongst giants, literally. But they're all so nice. They all seem ecstatic to be playing. Like Justice Winslow's there, and he's signing autographs right in front of the popcorn stand next to the stadium. And you can really get to know these guys. You can meet the coaches. You can meet the coaching staffs. Like Juwan Howard was coaching the Miami Heat. And they're just walking amongst you. They're very, very nice. They stop. They take pictures. They seem... What's crazy is that a lot of them are 18, 19, 20 years old. They can't even go out in Vegas.